Can the God of Thunder ever hope to overcome his murderous brother Loki and the newly resurrected Gore the God Butcher? Well, let's hop into the pages of King Thor issue number 2 and find out for ourselves, shall we? Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, King Thor was horrified to see the return of Gore the God Butcher, the original owner of the Necrosword, the one who basically kicked off this entire Jason Aaron run. How the hell is he alive, especially when Thor took such great lengths to make sure he stayed dead, cutting off his head, throwing him into the sun, etc., etc., well outside the normal comic book fact that everyone dead eventually comes back. Gore says that he actually spent so much time with the Necrosword he ended up fusing with it, or a small piece of him at least, one that's been able to grow and fester over time. Hey, the Necrosword is actually a symbiote, and this all tracks very much with the whole Codex stuff that's going on in Absolute Carnage right now. Ain't that fun? Gore says he was actually happy and content inside the Necrosword. It was an endless ocean of nothingness, blankness, no gods, basically his idea of paradise. But Loki pulled him back to the world of the living, so now Gore is really ticked off and ready to get back to what he does best, butchering gods. But why did Loki bring him back? Gore has his own theory, and that is despite all of his bluster, maybe Loki really couldn't go through with it and finally kill his brother. This also means that maybe if the God of Mischief and the God of Thunder can finally put their differences aside, maybe their united front will be enough to re-vanquish this old foe. Not that Loki is feeling too helpful right now. The way he sees it, his ultimate victory has been stolen from him, and there's really no reason to keep on fighting or even living for that matter. Though, quite hilariously, his godly apathy is actually challenged by the few residents of New Midgard who begin to pray not just for Thor to save them, but for Loki too. Yep, their faith is still unshook. A fact which you better believe angers Gore more than anything else. He summons up the last of the Necrosword and has it take its true form, the Annihiblade. Okay, so a giant sword that cuts through planets. It's nice to know King Thor has now gone full anime. Now, our hero isn't exactly sure how to defeat Gore, but he knows he did it once before, and so chances are he'll be able to do it again. King Thor plans to trap Gore over by 3 suns and hurl a couple supernovas his way. Yes, that's right, you heard me. He throws entire exploding suns. Are all you power scalers in my comment section finally happy now? Probably not. Now, once Gore does finally kill the last 2 gods in existence, Thor and Loki, what's he gonna do with the rest of his time now that he essentially has no reason to exist anymore? Well, the way he puts it, mankind, sentient thought, will always eventually grow weak and addicted to the power and might of gods. And so, once all the gods are dead, Gore plans to kill the last living beings in the universe and seed a new society. One that he will be able to watch grow, flourish, or maybe die all on their own merit, free from the corruption of the divine. And if creating life, seeding a universe, and then just sitting back and doing nothing sounds kind of hypocritical for a guy who hates God so much, yeah, that's kind of the point here. Now, before Gore can deliver the final blow, though, Loki finally gets off his big green butt and decides to get back into the fight, and it ends up costing him his 2 eyes. But not his famously serpent tongue, though, so there still might be a hope. In what he believes to be his final moments, Loki takes this opportunity to finally open up to Thor. Yes, he did help resurrect Gore the God Butcher, but not because he didn't feel he couldn't kill his brother Thor, but that because after he did, he would probably feel so bad he would want to die himself, and because he's a total egomaniac, he would never end his own life, but Gore certainly could. King Thor once again tries to remind his brother that there's still time. They might be down 3 eyes, 1 arm, but hey, they still got a hammer and a couple good arms, so there's still a chance. But sadly, Loki still seems defeated and thinks that dying right next to his brother might be the next best thing to getting what he's always wanted, and it's right around here Gore gets ready with his big final bad guy speech, and it's a doozy. He talks about how all of his life he's tried to punish gods for their many crimes, and in doing so, he has become incredibly powerful himself. Some would call him a god, but he believes himself to be more. He isn't a god, he is a force of nature. Gods may walk on water, but Gore is the ocean itself. And he's now ready to drown the brothers Odinson in a deep, dark, inescapable wave. With what he believes to be his final breath, Thor says to his brother Loki that he lied before about what their mother said with her last words. That Freya never wanted Thor to give up on Loki, and that one day he might actually save the whole universe, and it's on that cliffhanger right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was King Thor issue number 2, and just when you thought Jason Aaron couldn't ratchet up this finale to his time on the God of Thunder anymore, he ratchets it up up a little bit more. I gotta take my hat off for just how organically full circle everything has come. Gorr makes a lot of sense to be King Thor's final adversary, as pretty much the God Butcher represents a lot of Thor's own inner turmoil. Gorr had tried to slay all the gods in his time, but now here in the far-flung future, a lot of them just died out anyway. Also, maybe I'm being naive here, but I am still holding out hope that we could possibly see some sort of Loki redemption by the end of this, especially as Loki had kinda redeemed himself in another book, and then Jason Aaron made him evil again. Ultimately, I would give this one a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Really good read.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing me right now, it means you watched to the end of the video, of which I will always be appreciative of. It really helps with retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. If you really like my work, you can check me out on social media. I have links down in the description of the video you're watching right now to all my different socials. I got the Twitter, I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook. I'm very easy to be reached, and if you follow me there, you can be the first to know about when a new video goes live. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. Bye-bye.